Robo William is undergoing an existential crisis. Hale has new furniture. Stubbs, as usual, gets treated like shit. And Christina begins to see that which should not be seen. We'll discuss it all, dive into some more theories, and hear some of your comments. It's the Watchers on the Couch. Welcome back to Watchers on the Couch. Today we are discussing episode 5 of season 4, Zhuangzi. I'm Tim.
And I'm Mike.
And I think Zhuangzi is how you pronounce that. I did my best to look it up on the internet. I didn't want to be like, making fun of French is fine. Like I can say Annie Foley's. I don't feel bad because 23andMe has my ancestral percentage high in the German and French category. So I can say that. I can say, and it's fine. But I'm not fucking around with trying to pronounce anything Asian with my dumb, fat American tongue. So I looked it up. Zhuangzi seems to be how it is pronounced. We'll do our spoiler-free initial thoughts coming up first. Mike, what did you think of this episode?
It was a pretty good episode. There was a lot of good character interactions. I had a lot of fun. William, come on, Ed Harris is killing it. Like,
this is a great episode. I agree.
It was good. So.
I think everybody's talking about how mind-blowing the reveal was last episode. This episode blows that episode out of the water.
Yeah.
Like top to bottom, I think this is my favorite episode of the season so far. The Christina stuff was very interesting. I think the reveals on that, even though we kind of guessed at what some of that was done very well. This is some of the best acting from Ed Harris I've seen in a long time. Not that Ed Harris is a bad actor by any means, but I feel like this is the most range I've seen out of him in a while.
Well, I feel like this is the first episode where they allowed him to have a lot of range, to be honest.
Right.
So,
yeah, he's
besides like the first season. So,
yeah, for sure. And then, Ed Harris was great. And the other thing is that I disliked about it is the Stubbs stuff. I think they are. I love the comic relief of Stubbs, but I think they're doing him dirty this season.
I mean, the one thing I did dislike, some of the action scenes, it's Westworld style, so haven't got any better at it.
All right, so this episode, Zhuangzi, for a little bit of background into the title, the meaning of the title. The Zhuangzi is an ancient Chinese text, and one of the most well-known stories appears at the end of the book's second chapter, and I believe it's Zhuangzhou. Zhuangzhou dreams of being a butterfly, and I'll read a little bit of this. There's many translations of it. This is the one I ripped off right off Wikipedia.
So this is Reading Rainbow, huh?
Yeah, why not?
I can fly twice as high.
Once Zhuangzhou dreamed he was a butterfly flitting and fluttering about, happy with himself and doing as he pleased. He didn't know that he was Zhuangzhou. Suddenly he woke up and there he was, solid and unmistakable Zhuangzhou. But he didn't know if he was Zhuangzhou who had dreamt he was a butterfly, or a butterfly dreaming that he was Zhuangzhou. Between Zhuangzhou and the butterfly, there must be some distinction.
Tim,
What the fuck are you talking about? Why do you want to know?
I think this could be a lot about Christina, but I think it also fits William with his Robo William with his existential crisis that he's having.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think it's more William than anything, but a lot of times they do this in a lot of their episodes where multiple characters kind of have similar meanings to things like this. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we're going to kick it off part 1 with Stubbs. So we start off when we see Stubbs the first time in this episode. He's with Jay and company in a boat. They're on this mission to extract the outlier. We do learn basically what an outlier is. An outlier is basically a person in the city that's been infected by the flies that are starting to, that infection starting to not be as effective, and they're kind of breaking their quote unquote programming. So basically the same way the host glitched out in Westworld, this is the humans glitching out of their programming. And then they have to beat the hosts at what they're calling the game. And the game is basically once an outlier is found, Hale opens up the city to the game, where is all the hosts, the robot hosts, the not so technically the guests. I hate the way they do this. This is really bugging me this season. The hosts hunt down the outliers, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit with the William stuff. But basically, yeah, Jay and his crew are treating Stubbs like shit. One, because they don't trust him, but his job is to be the canary in the coal mine and scout ahead to make sure things are safe. But we don't really get to see much of him scouting ahead either. Like, they really dramatically cut the Stubbs time in this episode.
This whole situation I was not okay with. It's just one of these things that Westworld does that I'm just like, what the fuck's going on? I mean, they're only like boat in the water, and where the fuck did they get this boat? How long did it take them to get there? Like, this is technically supposed to be like New York City. I guess I don't need to see a fucking, them traveling across the country.
This is the same excuse we had with Baelish. How the fuck did Baelish get to everywhere in Game of Thrones so fast? It's boring, and nobody wants to see that. But when they're in there, like, then a whole city block of people just like turn on them, and it turns out later on it's not that big a deal. So, that was my question. I don't know if they ever actually established this. Is the city actually supposed to be Manhattan, or is it a park designed to look like Manhattan?
They haven't established that. So It's very possible that this could be a park. I don't know. Maybe they made one near like the Hoover Dam. So, because we don't know when that was established, like when the Man in Black wanted to buy the Hoover Dam. Mm-hmm. That could have been 23 years ago. Maybe they acquired it, and then that's part of where they're where they made their city.
Yeah, because that was the other thing. Is like, okay, if they're there, where's the desert that the rebels are coming from? Because how the fuck do you get to the desert to New York and not get caught in a surveillance, a robot-dominated surveillance world?
Well, here's the thing, though. So I'm wondering if this is going to turn into like, because didn't in like Star Wars, like it's a thing to where like, oh, Darth Vader just let him go so he could track them to the rebel base. This could be like the same thing. So in this episode, Hale does say something to William before he has to go do a little mission for her, that the rebels are already in the city.
Yeah, she should have totally had a Darth Vader voice.
She does know they're there, and she's okay with them being there. Like if she knows they're already there, like she could have stopped them earlier, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems a little odd of what's happening. So
everything about Hale is odd this season. Like, none of it makes any sense to me.
Yeah.
And even what does make sense just seems kind of weak. So I don't know. But yeah, they send Stubbs down the, I guess it's like an old subway thing to get into the city, and
tweet.
Yeah.
So they get in the city, and at this point they're spotted by Host William. We'll get more into that in a little bit. Host William's already on the hunt, and Stubbs senses that something's wrong, and Jay and Crew are all like, whoa, what the fuck? How do you know that? Which, this is another thing that kind of, I don't know what the right word for what I'm trying to say is, it bugs me or it doesn't make sense, is Jay basically tells Stubbs everything that's going on, like Stubbs doesn't know it. And Stubbs doesn't know it because he's been in a fucking motel room for 30 years. But if they don't seem to have that question, like, why don't you know this stuff? It's just like, oh yeah, I guess it's just Jay likes hearing the sound of his own voice. Like, I'm fucking smart and I know how this stuff works. And that's the only thing I can think of, because
by the way, I like that you put in the show notes that his name is Jay, as in like Jay instead of the letter J, like Homer J. Simpson.
I don't know if that's the only reason I put it in as J and not the letter J is because it's actually that way in the subtitles.
Oh, is it? It's spelled Jay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So does that mean C is spelled SEE?
No, C is C, the letter C.
Okay.
C is for cookie. That's good enough for me.
It's C. Taste and see. Since this whole show is just rehashing the Bible anyway, so
Yeah, the entire series.
It's
just it's a more entertaining version. As somebody who's had to look at the Bible a lot growing up, it's much more entertaining than the Bible is. So,
well, which one? I mean, I don't know. That First
Which
Testament
Bible?
one seemed pretty entertaining.
A lot of boobs in that one. You don't get to see them, but they talk about it a lot. What if HBO did a Bible series? Genesis is just nothing but fucking, and then second season, Exodus, a little less fucking, and then it just gets into like the New Testament where nobody's ever fucking anymore. We're 8 seasons into the Bible at this point. Nobody wants to get nude anymore, so it's all like fucking Roman togas, and that's it. But yeah, HBO Max Bible series, that would be interesting.
There you
go. Where was I? Oh yeah. So William sounds an alarm, basically the drone alarm. I don't think we ever hear it as the listener, but Stubbs can hear it. It's outside the range of human hearing, so it's like a dog whistle, only a lot lower. I don't know what the lower equivalent of a dog whistle is.
A brown note.
It's something beneath a brown note. It's a deep brown note.
Yeah.
And flies love brown. So it's
there you go. Oh man,
we figured it out.
Those people still don't know though that Stubbs is a host, right?
No.
Now questioning it, like they still don't know Bernard and Stubbs are hosts.
No, to the best of my knowledge, they don't, because they've never told them that.
These people not have this technology. I mean,
to scan hosts.
So silly. Come on.
I guess when you give somebody a severed head with a brain ball in it, it's like, well, it can't be a host. Host won't kill hosts.
No, a host would never kill another host.
That's in their host. That's in their robot Bible.
Yeah.
So Stubbs and crew hold off all these attacking humans. Like everybody in like in the radius of the Starbucks are attacking the rebels. Stubbs holds them off in Stubbs tackly fashion, and it is one of the worst, probably one of the worst fights I've seen in Westworld. It's almost on par with Star Trek, the original series, and Star Trek: The Next Generation fight scenes. Like you're just expecting them to like put their fingers together and do the axe chop to the back.
Expect them to do a
chick punch combo.
They didn't do a chick punch combo. That was the problem. If they had done chick punch combos, they would have they could have killed William with a chick punch combo. That's the first thing Jay should have done.
I wonder if Stubbs, I mean, he could have just been ripping limbs off,
Yeah, because he's a robot. He's supposed to be super strong.
He didn't want to give himself away.
Stubbs and crew hold off everybody while Jay goes into the building after the outlier, who's on top of a building, and we'll talk more about the outlier in a bit. Jay shoots host William, who's already made it up there. Jay's like in the stairwell. We hear he hears some commotion above him. Presumably it's the man in black getting up to the roof before him. I've seen some theories suggesting that it's a robot Jay, and Jay has been killed and replaced by host now. And then host Jay went and shot William. And so Jay can infiltrate the rebels.
All I have to say is
bullshit.
That's exactly what I said too.
That's ridiculous. Come on.
Yeah, I said that. I got that from Reddit.
Hey, you never know, because it does seem weird that he's just going out of his way to find this strange person that's an outlier, because we know that
we don't take chances on strangers.
Yeah.
They extract the outlier. They get her to the boat. We don't even see the egress out of the city to the boat. It's just like all of a sudden, on the boat now, boat's going away. And that's fucking it. That's the end of the Stubbs stuff for this episode. It was like we spent way longer talking about it than we ever see Stubbs in this episode.
Yeah. Man, I'm really liking Luke Hemsworth too. That is Luke, right?
Yeah, it is Luke.
Yeah. I'm liking him a lot this season. I don't know what it is, but like just more charismatic, or I don't know. There's something different. I can't pinpoint it, but man, I'm loving him on screen. I want to see more of it.
He gets some of the best lines on the show. But like, I was really hoping that they'd give him more to do. Cause like last season, apparently he like injured his shoulder and he couldn't do a lot of the like stuff and the fights that they wanted him to do. And they shot around it. So I was like, okay, well, this is going to be a big stub season. And
dude, that would have been a perfect chance for him to do some chick punch combos.
Yeah. I mean, unless he fucked up his other shoulder this year, they haven't told us about it yet.
Yeah. You never know.
But yeah, it's, I expected more out of the outlier things. Like, so we were completely wrong about who the outlier was. We suspected it was going to be Maya, and we were way off. Like, it was Orlando, essentially, which is kind of disappointing.
I know, man. That's nuts. I mean,
how did we miss this?
But so if like this is the extent of the whole like Stubbs going for safety and like not his safety, it's like I'm kind of disappointed in that. Like I'm hoping there's still more to come with this, and like some more stuff's revealed about the outlier, and we'll talk about the outlier in a few. Actually, we're going to be talking about coming up, because since that's the end of the Stubbs stuff, on part 2 we have William, and the William stuff by far the best part of this episode. The Christina stuff is good. The William stuff is way better. I don't remember if it was episode 3 or 4 this. I don't remember if it was the last season or the season before that didn't have a cold open at all. But this episode did have a cold open, and it was like 8 minutes long. Like I forgot that the intro hadn't started yet.
Yeah, I forgot too. Same thing.
So it starts with Robo William having a conversation with this couple at the table. And at this point, aside from being like, he's dressed as business time, man in black, we don't know when this could have taken place. Like it could have been Meet Williams, like prior, like a dinner conversation that would reveal something about William's backstory. It could have been at the same time period that Robo William was going around hitting politicians with golf clubs. He's basically just discussing socioeconomic class struggles. So it could even be like that this is like one of the other people on the board at Delos. But we get the drop, and that it's actually the city, the simulation, or the park, and which I have come to call West First World.
West First World problems.
But it's a slow burn.
That you're extremely cheesy.
That's right. That's right. So he's having this conversation. He basically kind of like, he freezes the couple that he's talking to in place, saying, I can do whatever I want to you, blah, 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 blah. I can bang you and make your wife watch. And he doesn't say that, but he implies it very heavily. And then Clementine shows,
no, you can leave my wife out of it. And he's like,
my wife's dead.
So Clementine tells William that there's an issue. Apparently there's a host named Hope that killed a lot of humans after winning the game. This is the first time we hear the game in this episode, is during the cold open. When he comes up to the room, like they're basically just following a trail of bodies up to this hotel room, and this host Hope mentions that she's scheduled for something called Transcendence. I think this is the first time we hear about Transcendence. I don't think they've brought this up before, but I could be mistaken. I believe
it's the first time.
Okay. And
she also mentions that she won the game, and all she won was this stupid shirt. So,
yeah, she's ready to transcend, but she had to like kill a bunch of humans in addition to killing the outlier, because humans say terrible things. I think she went to a YouTube comment section building, and Christina couldn't write dialogue for everybody, so she just web crawled the YouTube comment sections and threw that in their dialogue. And it's like, oh my God, these people say terrible things. Shoot them. Not you guys on YouTube. You're all right. But William tells Clementine to send her back where she came from. And then he goes back to his conversation in the restaurant.
Well, if you don't like West First World, well, you can get out.
Yeah. Love West First World or leave it.
Yeah. Go back where you came from.
apparently there's new hosts, or they're like infant hosts, and it's like, what? What's happening? But I guess they're not infants in that they're actually making babies. They're just like baby hosts. They're making like full grown hosts that are just new hosts.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. They just haven't existed for that long.
Right.
Like she was 2 years old, Hope is. So I don't think that means necessarily that they have less maturity in a sense, or I don't know. I get they do, but I don't know how to explain that. I guess just they have all this programming and code like kind of as an adult, but I guess they don't have life experience, like real world experience in a sense.
And they definitely don't have impulse control, or at least Hope didn't. And that was a big thing for William, because William is interestingly protective of the humans in the park because they can't get more of them. And that was one of the other things that I had to think like really hard about. Like, you can't get more humans. And it's like, I guess they can't, because I think what we're supposed to believe in the show at this point is the humans in the city make up the majority of human life left on the planet.
I would guess so. Jay says that they're the only free humans left.
Right. So
who were those fucking people in the diner then? Were those rebels?
That's a good question.
Bernard and Stubbs? Like, are those hosts way out there? Or are those, just going along with things? Because, hey, those two guys that Bernard killed were hosts. Bernard and Stubbs are hosts. So if the diner people were hosts, they wouldn't think anything of it. There's like, oh, these are just some traveling hosts.
That's true. And that woman that was the waitress there was pretty old, right? That's like the oldest person I think we've seen.
Right.
Except for Ed Harris, but
so,
okay, that's a big question for you guys. Do you guys think are the diner people humans or hosts? That's a good question. Yeah. Do we ever see hosts eat?
Yeah. I mean, you see hosts eat and drink. I mean, it's kind of in their programming too. They don't need to do it, but they do it. Like Maeve drinks all the time. Saw Clementine grab the wine.
Yeah.
Well, Man in Black, he drinks, so.
So that's the end of the cold open. The next time we see William is a little bit later when Hale is visiting the city, and I use city with a capital C because I guess it's the only one. Talking about, it was like she's making people dance and shit, and we were like wondering about the meaty hand or that was all wounded and stuff playing the piano. We thought maybe it could be somebody, but it's not. It's just some schmuck that she made play piano until his fingers are falling apart because she sucks. But she begins to philosophize about gods visiting mortals and blah, blah, blah with William, which brings us to the Chris Nays minute for this episode. Mike, strap in.
All right. Yeah.
Hey, guys, this is the Chris Nays minute for this week's episode. Charlotte is giving her speech about how God is bored. And in this speech, she is God, of course. One of the first things she decides to do is make a human chair. She just yells out, chair, and 3 women come over and make a chair, and she sits on them. It's truly ridiculous. So I was wondering, if you guys were in the position of God, each of you separately, would you make a human chair? And also, follow-up question, who would be your human chair? So you had to pick 3 people, and each of you take a turn. Mine would, of course, be Mike, Tim, and probably Jimmy Lopez. It cut me off. This has been your Chris Nays minute and a half this week, plus a few extra seconds to do this. Bye.
Bye, Chris.
Bye.
Fucking the Chris Nays minute got cut off because it was too long. Have we established if Chris is high when he does these?
I don't know. No, I don't think we have.
So Mike and I are part of Chris's human chair. Jimmy Lopez, for those of you who don't know, is also a former Watchers on the Couch host who did a season of Better Call Saul, Watchers on the Couch with Mike. It was very good. One of the highest downloaded seasons we had. But then Mike decided...
I'm currently watching the last season of Better Call Saul, and it's pretty fantastic. If you are out there watching... Yeah.
He lost his...
I know.
He lost his co-host, and...
I know. You know what, Tim? It's just...
All your friends, they're gone.
Chris's question is, if we were gods, separate gods, independent gods, would we make a human chair? And then he asks, who would be on our human chair?
Do I need 3?
Mike,
I think I just need 1. All right. It's gonna be The Rock. The Rock is gonna be my chair, ultra sturdy. It's not gonna fall over. And then I got Kevin Hart as my ottoman. So and I'd be like, Ottoman. But then all the hosts are like, wait, hold on. Let's gather around, guys. So what we got to do, we got to build an empire. What? An Ottoman? No, a chair. Yeah, thanking you, dumb host.
Joke. I was trying to think about who my 3 would be. And it's like, well, for the show, for this podcast, what do I do? Do I just be like, oh, I'd like to sit on these 3 people? Or do I want it to be like 3 people that are beneath me and I want them to be furniture? Or am I looking for comfort? And I think as a 40-something-year-old, I'm looking for comfort now. I don't want to make gross comments on the internet quite as much, at least not towards actual people. So similar to Mike, my chair is made up of at least one person from the WWE, and that's Big Show, because I want to be able to lay down on my chair. So it's the Big Show, Rebel Wilson, and let's see.
There you go.
Danny DeVito's my ottoman. And anyway, he just starts blasting. And that's going to be it. Thanks for the question, Chris. Yeah. Hale makes a human chair, and it makes me wonder what other furniture she can make out of people.
Yeah. I think she can make a squatty potty.
Squatty potty.
Mm-hmm. Squatty potty.
Even just the concept of making a human toilet, like it's still the chair, but they just leave, like they like spread their legs a little bit. So when Hale sits down, she's got a clear shot going down. That's awful. God, Hale is gross. Horrible person.
Chair Loris.
Absolutely.
It's her new name. It's not Chair Loris, it's Chair Loris.
It's not Chair Loris, it's not Hale, it's Chair Loris. And I will refer to as Chair Loris for the rest of the episode. Chair Loris asks William what he thinks about her philosophizing about the gods coming down and, banging people because there's nothing better to do when they're bored. And he responds that he basically thinks what she wants him to think, because he's based off of her code, and they all are based off her code, which is interesting. I don't know if that quite means that they're all based upon Chair Loris's code and then modeled on top of that, or if it's like another way to kind of remind everybody that, Ford made Dolores first, and everybody's basically just a copy of that, with the possible exception of Maeve.
I think everyone's based on the code and then build off of that, like you said. So just changed around just a little bit,
right?
I guess, or maybe a lot. I have no idea.
Who knows?
George's still out.
Yeah, apparently.
Hale takes William across the bridge outside of the city and to Chair Loris Island, because apparently they have an issue. And it turns out that host, Hope, that William sent back, there's no other way to say it, but...
This is where you kill yourself.
There's no hope, Tim.
Oh no. Yeah. Hope kills herself, even though she was scheduled for transcendence. She decided to end it. Like, apparently Hale mentions that there's kind of an infection that humans give the hosts that make them want to do this. But
there's so what would transcendence be? Because we do see them kind of walking through inside as well, and it looks like people who are transcending, and they take the brain balls out and put them in this other like frame of a host in a sense.
I don't know if it's another frame of I don't know if they're like basically trying to like create another Sublime, or what that's supposed to be, because like the whole thing that Chair Loris is complaining about, that nobody's taking her up on her transcendence offer. Like people are staying in the park too long, in the city too long to live out their impulses. The hosts are the robot hosts, instead of it being kind of a, get this out of your system and then you're going to join us in Robo Heaven or whatever it is.
I guess maybe people don't want to go to heaven unless they experience a little bit of hell.
Ooh.
I mean, because the park, and their lives are just built perfectly for them and whatever they want. I mean, heck, the god of the world, Chair Loris, she's bored, There's no action. She's pretty much all alone. So, especially if everyone's built off you. I mean, would you want to live in a world that is just a bunch of yous? Just a bunch of Tims.
Kind of would.
I think you'd probably get a little bored.
I don't know. I like me a lot.
Hey, I like me. Maybe a couple me's would be okay. But like all me's? No.
I would at least like to have another me that's cryogenically frozen and suspended in a circle that I could talk to.
Just so you could harvest the organs?
Yeah. And so I could give him a handy and it wouldn't be weird.
Yeah.
You'll never be me. So they get to Chair Loris's office, and she tells William that there's another outlier. This is the one that the Resistance is going to rescue. And she isn't going to start up the game for this one. She wants William to go personally, after she spends a shit ton of time berating him. Like she's a
human
shit
one
person.
Was way better than you. I mean, you're just a
fucking can opener.
And then she's bleeding, or like she scratches at herself the way Hale did in the last season, and William points it out, and she's like, "Look what you made me do!" Like a fucking abusive husband. Like, you piece of shit.
Look what you made me do. Look what you made me do.
What have you done for me lately? So this is where the William storyline and the Stubb storyline, he's out there, he sees the rebels coming in, he sounds the drone alarm. Not the drone alarm, sorry, the droning sound of the flies. Drones are somewhere else. They're out in the desert. And they can't see through tarps, and that's the only thing that the boat had to have been covered in a tarp the entire time. Because fucking drones can't go over water. Is this like some Back to the Future 2 shit?
No, they should have covered in a tarp. If they did, Chair Loris wouldn't have known that the rebels were already in the park.
That's right.
They just could have went in the area with just with tarps over their heads the whole time.
Fucking tarps. So we know William gets up to the roof, as we said previously. What we didn't explain in the Stubb section is that he has an interaction with the outlier after Chair Loris told him not to have any interactions with them. It's a woman. She explains that her ex-husband could see the tower and she can see the tower, and her husband must have felt so alone before he offed himself. And
her husband must have been Peter.
So maybe, but the outlier that Hope kills, the guy with the flower, was also divorced.
All right.
So I think it's that, and I think it was probably Flower Guy's wife and not Peter's wife, and I will tell you why in a little bit.
Does sadness or loneliness, depression. Does depression make you become an outlier? Part of your brain maybe doesn't work how it's supposed to, and that part of your brain that kind of turns off when you're like depressed. That's the only part of the brain that can be activated by the parasite. So if it's not actually working, then the parasite doesn't work.
That's a good theory. I like it. But she thinks William's another person, a human that can. She thinks William's another human that can also see the tower, and that he came up to, like, be like, what the fuck is the world? And he tells her that she's not alone, that he's not alone, and rests her head on his shoulders. Also, she looks kind of similar to his wife.
Think so?
A little bit.
I didn't notice.
It's not, obviously not the same actress, but there's like similarities between them. And I think that might be why he glitches a little bit, because there's a very subtle glitch, kind of like you can notice like the subtleties in Ed Harris's expression. One of the best moments on the show. It's like the Ed Harris performance in this episode is amazing. Great. And
well, this is the third kind of thing that kind of maybe helped him glitch in a sense, because he had that interaction with Hope, and then Chair Loris berates him, tells him basically a piece of shit, and then we got this lady who for some reason is like, no, I know you see it too, right? Yeah, totally. I'm not worried about that gun or anything, so this totally makes sense.
After he glitches, he realizes that something's amiss with his programming or whatever, and he pulls out the gun to shoot her, and that's when Jay shoots him and takes him down for a little bit. Which I don't know why. There seems to be an inconsistent amount of time that the Man in Black dies as a robot, because sometimes he's immediately back up and sometimes he's all the way across town.
Yes. Which doesn't make sense. Like, Jay says, he won't be down for long. What does that mean? Like, how does that work? I thought, like, doesn't somebody else have to, like, heal you? Like, don't you have to get another robot body made? But I don't know.
Nobody's healed William yet.
And so this episode, I remember us talking about William, and I thought there was multiple Williams. Mm-hmm. There's not multiple Williams. I don't think so. That's not what this is. This is showing just one William and the things that he's going through to kind of glitch out.
Yeah, this is the replacement William for the one that got blowed the fuck up last episode.
Question the nature of his reality.
Correct. So I think that's the last time we see William until a little bit later, after he's like recovering from all his gunshot wounds. He goes down to talk to Meet William in the cryo chamber.
Yes.
And he's having basically similar questions of who or what he is, similar to what human William had in season 2, like questioning what he is and questioning kind of what his purpose is.
Yeah. He's like,
I'm the good guy.
So Robo William thinks he's now infected with whatever disease Hale was talking about that humans give them, and makes them want to kill themselves. And Meet William asked him if that's what he wants, and to kill himself. Robot William says he doesn't know.
He's like, what am I? He's like, you're a
fucking can opener. Why do you want to know?
Yep.
William asks Robo William how he likes his world, or like the how do you like their world or your world or whatever. And Robo William says, it's not my world, it's her world. And then Meet William says, maybe it's time you started to question the nature of your own reality.
I think the best line is, it's like, well, looks like you've reached the center of the maze, my friend.
Looks like you've reached the center of the maze, my friend.
Well, looks like you've reached the center of the maze, my friend.
Bernard?
Yep, that's what I was just about to say. I'm like, that doesn't really work very well for William.
Nope.
No, definitely does not.
Like I said, the William stuff was great this episode. I liked the restaurant scene a lot. I thought it was very cool how Meat William in previous seasons would go to Westworld, murder and shit, but Robot William in this West First world is showing the conversational aspect of William's life, the shit that Meat William wanted to get away from so he could get back into Westworld and kill fucking people.
Yeah. Yeah, and that back and forth between Meat William and Robot William was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like I never questioned
That there's only
the
one Ed
nature of
Harris.
the reality of it. Like it seemed like two different people, like completely. It never once was like, oh, that's Ed Harris talking to Ed Harris, and like, he's not there. No, it was very well done.
So it's unclear who the outlier is. So, like we said, it's possible that it's Peter's ex-wife or Flower Guy's ex-wife. Either way, I mentioned this before. I'm kind of bummed that the outlier is seemingly just a rando and not Maya. I think I would have liked it better if it was Maya. But at the same time, if the show keeps me guessing, and this is one show where I like being wrong about the theories because I don't want the show to be too predictable for me. Because there's a lot of shows that this irritates the hell out of Sarah when we're watching TV, and I actually say what somebody else is going to say before it appears on screen. And she's like,
I did that. And at the end of this show, at the end of this episode, I did that.
Oh yeah, so did I.
It was just that line.
Yeah. She's like, how do you do that? It's like, because all this shit's been written before. I've seen it all. Yeah. Like every story's been told.
Stories just exactly. That's what I tell some people. Like that's there's stories that I've already seen before. There's stories now that aren't for me. But there's a whole generation who hasn't seen this story before, so it's for them and not for me.
Yeah, I mean, there's some
a lot of stories get rehashed, just like the fucking Bible in this show.
Or just like for those
William
people,
is fucking kind of like Lucifer defying God, or I don't know. You can make a bunch of different assumptions about it.
No, for sure. And then there's some people who didn't see the Death Star get blown up in the original Star Wars movie, so they get to see Top Gun 2. And it's something new and something borrowed. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of a break, and then we'll talk about Christina, and we're going to hear some comments that we got in regards to our Maya theories last episode. We got a couple, so we'll talk about those a little bit, and we will be right back. So we're back. We're going to talk about Christina a bit, and we got some comments based on our Maya theories last episode. These are from the YouTube comments section. Actually, I pulled a couple out. I think this past episode cleared some of this up, but not necessarily definitively. The first one comes from The Sovereign Art, who, by the way, is a French viewer, which is very nice.
Hey, whoa, Tim. I don't think we should be reading these comments from strangers because...
We don't take chances on strangers.
Okay. Okay, maybe we'll take some chances.
Sovereign Art is mentioned that he was from France, which is very cool. Or he said he was French. Awesome. I don't know if he said he was French. Oh, we also have I checked the podcast stats. This is unrelated. I checked our podcast stats, and we have 3 definitive, like across several episodes now, we have 3 definitive downloads from Germany consistently. So we have 3 German listeners out there somewhere.
You're going to have to start doing this podcast in German that you're learning.
I need to make German friends. If you're one of our German listeners, reach out because I'm going to need German friends in a little over a year when I'm there for a while. So yeah, the Sovereign Art asks, what if the New York scene with Christina and all that is happening in this, and all that is happening in this town is the Sublime? So I think we theorized on that earlier this season that maybe the Christina aspect of things is happening in parallel to the same city in the real world. What do you think about that, Mike?
Man, I really thought so. And I even thought so after watching this episode, but on a second watch of this episode, I don't think so. I think it's in the real world. Cause after watching this for the first time, this episode, I actually thought maybe that Christina is in it, her like own sublime. And maybe she has seen like the real city before, but then somehow created her own sublime and then eventually came to this point, and maybe she's been in her own sublime for too long. We know Akichida says a lot of people make their own sublimes and they don't, come together. I mean, if you're in your own sublime for thousands and thousands, I mean, pretty much endless years, you could kind of forget who you are. Maybe you created your own character and then eventually you kind of just lost time and lost who you are. And then I thought, okay, if that's maybe something like that could be true. And then some of the characters and what they say, like some things that Teddy says, some things that Christina's boss says, some things that even when Hale, and her met up. So I was like, man, these conversations seem a little odd. And I pictured those characters being different people. I was like, wait a minute. What if Teddy is actually like Bernard? Like if Bernard hacked into her sublime, but wanted to portray himself as Teddy? What if
Interesting.
What if it's like Stubbs and Bernard and Maeve all teaming up to try to get Dolores out of her Christina episode? What if that wasn't actually Hale? And what if that was Maeve? Because some of the things she says and some of like her facial expressions were like, that actually could be Maeve saying that. The boss, like I could see Christina's boss. I'm like, that could be Stubbs saying that stuff. I could definitely see like just how how his nonverbals are, the things he's saying, the stuff's Teddy's saying, definitely. But I don't know, or the other way around. I could see Stubbs or Bernard being like Christina's boss, because the stuff he says, I'm like, that's the same thing that Arnold was saying to Dolores. So, but I don't think that's true. There was just a few things that happened that I was like, no, I'm backing off of that. I think this is all in the same time, same place. And if
same time,
it's
same
not
place.
if it's not the exact same time, it's similar. It's not real far off.
Yeah, I think I agree with that, especially after this episode. It just seems, I think doing that would be way too convoluted, even for this show. That it would just be, it would be just way too confusing to have two of the exact same world running in parallel. I think I like to think they learned their lesson with season 2 of most people not knowing what the fuck was going on with Bernard until like the last episode.
Yeah.
I don't think they would do that again.
I think it'd be a bad thing for the show too if they did do like what I said, like my stupid theory. Just because then you'd be like, I mean, why would you want to even watch the next season? Like, you're like, oh, well, anybody could be fucking anybody. Neat.
Yeah, that's
to me, that wouldn't be interesting. That would be annoying. So
I had a similar reaction to the whether or not Jay was killed and became a host in the stairwell. It's like, they already did that with Carver like 2 episodes ago. They can't just keep going to that well every time. Otherwise, it's going to be like Mission Impossible 2, where everybody fucking pulls their face off at some point. It's like, oh, I was wearing a mask. It's like fucking 7 people do that in that movie. And that's why it's the only, it was the last Mission Impossible movie I ever watched. There's fucking 14 of them now. And I've only seen the first 2 because the second one was so stupid.
I like them all. So you should watch them. If you like action, like, if you just want to watch an action movie, you know what I mean? That's what they're good for. It's like, I don't know. They're just fun.
Was Maeve in the second one?
Some action.
Was the actress that played Maeve the one in the second one?
Oh, man. Possibly. It's been a long time since I saw that one.
I'm going to derail and look it up real quick.
Okay.
No, it was her. Tandaway Newton.
Good
was
job.
It all comes full circle. The next comment comes from AWOL Patchy. I think it makes the most sense if Christina / Maya / Teddy plotline is further into the future. That way Bernard, Stubbs, Maeve, and the Outliers printed Teddy to wake up Christina. That does make the most sense. I also think it is the laziest way you could tell that story. I would be so disappointed if it turns out that this whole thing, like, I swear to God, if next episode Bernard fixes Maeve, Maeve decides they need to print Teddy, and that the fucking Christina timeline is in the future, that might ruin. Like, I think this season's one of the best. I think that would ruin the entire season for me.
Yeah, I think it has to be more than that. But man, it's a great question. Because yeah, how does Teddy? How is he there? How is he born? How is he printed? Like, what happened? How did he find this Christina who is kind of Dolores or not? Like,
well, yeah, which is still unclear.
Who knows?
Jury's still out.
Well, or what if? Okay, maybe Teddy's been there the whole time. Maybe he's just one of the hosts. Like, okay, if Christina was made, like, if Chair Loris is making all the hosts, she might have made one that's similar to Dolores, but not. And that's Christina. And then maybe she wanted to make one that's similar to Teddy, but not. Just, kind of Teddy, but a little bit different. And then Teddy woke up, in a sense. Or like he questioned the nature of his reality, kind of like the Man in Black is doing right now.
Right.
So then that happened to Teddy, and Teddy's like, oh, shit, yeah, I remember this girl who looked kind of like you. I'm going to wake you up because I want to give me some of that again.
I'll reach the center of your maze.
I have this memory that we did it, but we didn't. I personally didn't do it, and it's really weirded me out. So I think we should kind of do it,
Yeah. So, I think the answer is, our answer to that is maybe makes the most sense. Probably not the best way to, definitely not the most interesting way to tell that story, though. We're starting to run a little long. We're already over an hour. So,
all right.
Let's end this.
Well, no, we still have to talk about all the Christina stuff. To speed it up a bit. Yeah. Well, basically, the gist this episode, when we see Christina, she wakes up. She talks to Maya. She explains that she was out late talking to Teddy. Maya tells her that she deserves all the happiness she can get, and blah, 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 which is interesting in a minute. Christina gets to Olympiad. She begins to write a new narrative, which is basically season 1 of Westworld. She makes it's about a girl, rancher's daughter, has everything, has a boy. And then her boss says, I didn't approve this for you, and you need to explain this to me. And she basically starts going on and that's where we get the line out of the trailer. She thinks there's something wrong with this world and that it's her fault.
Well, this is just about a girl, Tim. It's about this girl and she thinks something's wrong in the world. And but there's something wrong. It's her. She's the thing that's wrong.
Yeah. So, Thank you, Dolores.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
She gets saved by the phone, the ring. Teddy calls her up and says, "Hey, you got to meet with me." Tell the boss personally.
That's suspicious.
That is suspicious, and I will get into why that's suspicious as well.
You're suspect, Teddy.
You're sus. You're super sus. Teddy basically tells her that all the shit that Peter was accusing her of is true. The world's a lie. And he asked her to look across the water and tell him if she sees anything.
You fucking killed him. You killed him, Christina.
This is your fault.
You're a fucking psychopath.
Look what you made him do.
Yeah.
She doesn't believe him, and Teddy says, well, I'll prove it to you by you proving it to me. And they go out, and there's 2 women sitting on a bench reading books. He goes, so how do they look to you? She goes, well, they look kind of lonely. So he's like, well, make them not lonely. And she's like, what?
They start making out and kissing and smooching and getting it on and get naked, and they get nasty.
Yeah, it's a very
sorry.
It's a very Wet and Wild book club that's happening that Christina comes up with, and then Teddy tells her, "Hey, stop that. That's weird." So this is a little too much. I just want them to talk to each other. tell them to back off.
Make them that happy.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry," and she. No, he says, okay, now put him back to put them back, make them lonely again. And they get into an argument, and one of them storms off. And then basically Teddy says, "You're a god here. Sorry to break it to you. You're a god, and you're bored. And that the world's a lie. Don't trust anyone." And Christina tells him she has to meet an old friend for lunch. So she goes and meets the friend for lunch, and it turns out to be fucking surprise. It's Hale, who is asking seemingly innocent questions about like how God damn it, I keep saying Dolores, how Christina's doing. Christina's like, Teddy said, not to trust anybody. So she's not giving her much. And then Hale starts to get pretty fucking threatening. Because she's like asking, "Oh, you met a guy, what's his name?" And she's like, "I don't want to jinx it. You better tell me his fucking name. Otherwise, I'm going to make a chair out of you." And
she's like, "It doesn't matter what his name is."
That's Mike's chair talking right now.
Yeah. Like, "Here, show me the game." And Triple H comes out. Fucking wrestling.
It's ruined us.
She does get threatening, man, and it's super weird. Like, that line that she says, like, "I have ways of making people talk," or "I have my ways of making people talk." Like, that's super weird.
Super weird. So Christina has two people at the coffee shop or cafe or whatever it is. Well, I guess a cafe is a coffee shop. Start a fight, and she uses that as an excuse to book it. She leaves the coffee shop. She goes back to work, and then she starts looking up the name Charlotte Hale. She does a search query at her computer for Charlotte Hale, which is interesting because Teddy does name drop Hale in their conversation, but he never mentions her first name.
True.
So I don't know if that's Christina remembering a name or if Christina like knows like that Hale is like CEO of Olympiad or whatever the fuck. But either way, she doesn't get any results.
Well, wait a minute. They're friends though. Oh, wait, they never Charlotte?
Christina never says the name of her friend at the coffee shop.
Maybe it is just Charlotte Hale. That's just what I assumed.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
She knows that's her name, but she doesn't know who she actually is.
Oh, okay.
So she's asking the computer basically if like she wrote her friend's story.
I see.
Yeah. And then she's relieved that, so thank God. Of course not. My college friend is not written by me.
Oh, see, I thought it was, she's super sus because Teddy literally says the name, Hale's been busy or whatever he said that Hale's been doing. And then it's like, oh, wait, my friend's name's Hale.
All right.
We don't know. Jury's still out.
Why do you want to know?
So then she decides she's going to do another search. And she searches for the name Dolores Abernathy. Dun, dun, dun. And she triggers an alarm.
Access restricted.
Access restricted. Not even like, hey, we didn't delete this file. We're letting you know that there's something here. And you're not allowed to see it. Which triggers her boss to just show up out of fucking nowhere. And
see again, the fucking super suspect. But then again, I guess some of these things I think are like real suspect. I mean, in a city like this that is, I guess, super surveillance. I mean, you see Christina be able to access people instantly.
Yeah.
Who are on the streets and stuff. So I guess he would be too, but it just would be, what if he was at home? Like, he couldn't just transport right over, but who knows? Maybe that's his only job, I guess, to
could be
keep track of her, most likely.
So this time her boss is a little more direct about her behavior, wants to know what she was doing with her personal time and blah, blah, blah. And he basically, it's like, who I report to or something. He said something along those lines. It's like, and she's like, are you talking about Charlotte Hale? And like, he doesn't say that directly, but he gets real threatening and she fucking freezes all motor functions on that motherfucker real quick.
Well, he says something about like, do you know what she would do if she knew you breached the walled garden?
Yeah.
Like, What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
You know? Like, oh, man.
So
I don't know.
Yeah, while she has her
freezes,
boss,
and she freezes him, like you said.
Yeah, she freezes him, and then she starts rewriting his story and saying, "Hey, you're gonna go home, but first you're gonna like tell me pretty much everything that I want to know." And after doing so, she looks at one of the office walls that she had looked at before, and it just looked like a normal office wall. Well, now it's a big futuristic fucking door thing.
Door.
And it's made out of people.
The door.
Chair Loris needed a door, so she had a bunch of people make a door because they make better doors than windows. So she goes into the part of the office where I guess she doesn't belong, or maybe she does belong because she can access everything. Like there's nothing stopping her from doing everything. She's like, show me. Does she say? She says, show me the game. And then she's like, not the city, the game. Or does she do it the other way around?
No, yeah, she says, I don't know if she says it twice. Maybe she says, show me the city.
I think she says,
and then it comes not the game. I know the second time she definitely says, no, not the city, show me the game.
Okay. I think, for some reason I thought it might have been the other way around, but either way. And then she starts realizing, like, she's like, show me my narratives. And then it like pops up that like, she, like a lot of people in the city are her narratives, like probably almost all of them, if not all of them.
I think that's the point, that it's all of them.
The city is basically like just her story, her stories. Like, and she says that it's like, it's this whole city's a story and I'm the storyteller. And then she meets Teddy later again. Teddy asks her if she can see it. And she can. She looks out, she sees the tower, says it's been there the whole time. And she like, who would do this to her? And then Teddy drops the bomb that both Mike and I said before he said it. Mike, what was it?
Yeah, you did.
You learned it by watching you.
Oh, how dumb.
Well, perhaps you could write me a better line.
So, and that's basically where I think that was the end of the episode. So a couple interesting things. Both Hale and Maya tell Christina that she deserves happiness.
Yeah.
In this episode.
That's weird. I wonder if like everybody, these people are supposed to keep her happy. Because, you know, if you're unhappy and you're depressed, that's kind of when you start questioning the nature of your reality. So
yeah, there might be something there.
These people are trying to keep her happy.
Yeah. I think that's a good possibility now that you said that.
It's kind of like ignorance is bliss. Like when you don't know, like, I don't know it kind of makes sense. I mean, if you are going through life and you are super happy all the time, you're probably not questioning a lot of things about yourself. You're not questioning the nature of your reality if everything is perfect and you're happy because everything's good and you're just keep going with the flow in a sense, you know? So maybe they're just trying to keep her happy.
Because an angry Christina becomes a Wyatt and we only need, I think one Wyatt's enough. It does seem weird that her human boss would know so much about the quote unquote walled garden.
Yeah. Okay. Does Christina have control only over the fly humans, or does she have control over hosts as well?
Oh, you think that maybe she's got some Maeve administrative abilities as well?
I don't know. I'm asking because
I don't know.
At first, I thought her boss was a host, but I don't think he is. I think he's just a human. He's a fly human.
I don't think there's any. Let me put it this way. I think all hosts in the city, except for Christina, are guests. What would be a guest in the first season? The fact that fucking Hale still calls hosts and not the humans hosts is fucking shit up for me.
Yeah. Okay. And her boss wouldn't be a guest because he has a job and like that's his job or something.
Yeah.
That kind of. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So he has a narrative essentially, or at least he's controlled. Maybe he doesn't have a narrative. Maybe he reports directly to Hale but Christina can still hack parasite peoples. So that's the episode. Going into some things, we get a quick preview of the next episode where we see some Francine flashback stuff, which could be pretty interesting, like post her becoming C, but before or after Caleb dies, where the robots are taking over. I think that could be pretty cool. I think we see some Caleb and Chair Loris tower stuff. So that could be anything. That could be either really cool or really dumb.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about some theories that I have now. So we were talking about whether or not the Outliers X is Peter and where Teddy came from. My theory now is that Teddy and Peter aren't real. I think it's all in Christina's head.
Huh. Well, why would you think one is real and one isn't? Like, why are they both not real?
Because when Peter attacks Christina and cuts her arm, we find out that she was rescued by Teddy, which we kind of figured already. But when she looks up after looking at her arm, they're both gone. Like, they disappear. They're like, they didn't like run off somewhere. They were just not there anymore. If you go back and watch that episode. I think what's happening, I think this is like, it's kind of a similar situation to Bernard in season 2. Like, Teddy is basically the equivalent. So Bernard had Ford in his head, but it turned out it was really Bernard all along. I think this is a similar thing. I think Teddy is a part of Dolores and Christina, or whatever Christina, maybe Christina really isn't Dolores, but there's something in Christina that needs to wake up, and Teddy is that. And Peter really did die a long time ago in the narrative world of the city, and she's just remembering this now. It's manifesting in this way, because then she goes and she sees that he's already dead. He's got pictures of the tower up, and this is things manifesting in her mind, because she could the thing that I'm not sure about yet is whether or not Maya's real. I think Maya might be real, but then it's I think
she's real.
But she introduces
the fly human.
But she introduces her to Teddy, so that's the only thing that's fucking with me so far. But Christina could just as easily be subconsciously telling Maya that there is a Teddy.
Yeah.
Like, no, there's totally a guy there. And like, even if no Teddy is standing there, like, oh, this is the guy.
Yeah. If Christina can control fly humans, then she wouldn't know any different.
Yeah.
Because it is kind of weird, because Maya did ask her. Maya didn't say she's going to go take her on a date to meet that guy. She just said she wanted to go out for drinks. There was like no mention about going on a date that time. I'm pretty sure.
You know what? I think
and
you
know what? This would make sense about Teddy being in her head too, as far as like, oh, it's suspect that he called at just the right time. Well, he did it in her head, not for real.
And Peter's like the only, and Maya's the only one that knows about Peter for the most part, which, I mean, she could easily be talking to nobody on the phone. The other thing is, I don't remember if they weren't necessarily going out for a date, but Maya does say, I told you so to Teddy about Christina or something, or Teddy says that she found out about Christina's job from her roommate. So there's like some kind of implied connection there, but it could all just be a fucking sham, because as we know with Bernard in season 2, his mind's so fucked up that he is a completely unreliable narrator. So I think Christina's that way now until she wakes up, and then we find out that it's been her the entire time. Like a lot of these interactions.
She's becoming an unreliable narrator for the city. Because she's waking up and she's not doing her job anymore.
She's
going to take more than 4 fucking days off now, you know?
And then here's my other thing, and I this has nothing to do with this episode. I've decided this actually has more to do with last episode. I don't think Caleb's fucking dead. We asked whether or not we thought like Meet Caleb is still in cryo somewhere while host Caleb's running around. I don't think there's a host Caleb at all. I think when we're doing the fidelity test, that's actually human Caleb, and Hale's just fucking with him.
Yeah, that could be true.
Because
yeah.
We see at the beginning of that episode, of the previous episode, when Caleb's injured, and Maeve says, "Oh, I'm going to show you what freedom is. Surprise, it's my fucking daughter." Basically, all that does is show us that he's got implants that can be hacked to make him see things. So Hale could just as easily like hack him and make him like think that he's back where he was 23 years ago. Cause he might have been in cryo this entire fucking time, because if William can get his fucking throat cut and stitched back up in a skin tight suit and go into cryo, what's like fucking 6 bullet holes to the chest?
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
I like it, Tim. Yeah. I'm on board with that one.
Both of them. Cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. I feel pretty good now. I've got the Mike seal of approval for both my crazy ass theories.
I don't think they're that crazy. It's definitely not as crazy as what I was thinking earlier.
Let's end this, shall we?
All right.
Yep. All right.
All right. Thanks so much for listening. One thing that I think we should probably mention is that we've got a regular episode next week, like this one, but the week after that, for the penultimate episode of the season, Mike isn't going to be around. Mike is going to be in his own Sublime, and he's going to one of the worlds.
Oh, I'm going to Dolly World.
Dolly World, that was it. So that should be fun for Mike. So I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen that week. I don't know if I'm doing a solo episode or if I can find a pinch hitter co-host. Let me know what you think. If we just cover the last 2 episodes in one episode, we take a week off. Yeah, let me know if I can find a co-host to substitute for Mike. I will probably do that. But if you guys would rather have a solo episode than another 2-fer episode, let me know in the comments, or reach out to us on any of our social medias. But
tweet.
Yeah, you can fucking tweet us at Watchers on Couch on Twitter. I need to be more active on that, but that would be a good way to get a hold of us. So until next time, I'm Tim.
And I'm Mike Daffron. Keep questioning the nature of your reality.